Republicans really only exist to serve their corporate and billionaire masters, whether they realize it or not. Check this out. Leave your comments, ding the bell, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel. Welcome back. Thom Hartmann here with you. While the Problem Makers Caucus, this group of Democratic and Republican senators who are most heavily funded by big corporations and special interests, have gotten together and, proposed tentatively some outlines that are, well, we'll see. We're still learning about it. Mitch McConnell and the Senate Republicans have actually put forward a proposal. It would let employers injure or even kill their workers and ban any even opportunity for a worker to hold their employer responsible for their disability or death. Specifically, it's intended at COVID. But God only knows how far they'll extend this, or once they get it into law, what they'll add to it, right? And it brings back the 3-martini lunch. That's a phrase that you really have to be probably at least 40 or 50 years old to remember. I mean, it was 1987, as I recall, when maybe 84, it's been a while, in any case, when the 3-martini lunch, when the Reagan administration, This was back in the days of William Proxmire, who I think he was a Republican. I might be wrong. Maybe he was a Democrat. But the Midwestern, I think he was from Wisconsin, the senator who the Golden Fleece Awards and stuff like that. And there was all this pushback on the 3-martini lunch, and so they cut back the meal deduction. To where you could only have 2 martinis, and then they cut it back even further during Jimmy Carter's administration to we ain't paying for any martinis. Well, he wants to bring back the 3-martini lunch, and all of this in exchange for a 1-month extension of the unemployment benefits that are going to expire the day after Christmas. 1 month. Y'all get 1 month. Your employers get to kill you without consequence forever. I mean, these Republicans in the Senate are actually, in my opinion, trying to sabotage the incoming Biden administration. And as usual for Republicans, we've had this contest on this program for 17 years now. Anybody who can name one piece of legislation that was initiated by a Republican, passed by a majority of Republicans, and signed into law by a Republican president, one piece of legislation that principally benefits working class people or poor people. If you can name one piece of legislation in the last 40 years, I will send you an autographed copy of one of your choice of my books. And nobody has won that prize in 17 years. This is what they do. So they're trying to screw working people by refusing to extend unemployment benefits and in Mitch McConnell's new stimulus and make it illegal for workers to sue their employers. And, it's been 6 months since the House passed that $3 trillion HEROES Act that would have given American workers $600 a week. And more than 2 months since the House passed a slimmed-down $2.2 trillion version that would have given unemployed workers an extra $300 a week. Both of them were shot down by Mitch McConnell in the Senate. They both passed the House of Representatives. So McConnell today proposed this new stimulus bill that gives workers not $600 extra a week, not $300 extra a week, but $0 extra a week. That is not a typo. $0 ends your right to sue and brings back massive tax breaks for big business. This is just mind-boggling. I mean, we all know Republicans have opposed unemployment benefits since Franklin Roosevelt put them into law. I think it was in 1936 or 37. So it's not surprising. I mean, this is what Republicans do, right? Trash unemployment benefits, trash working people, make sure that people like Kelly Loeffler and David Perdue, flying around in their private jets. Loeffler actually owns a private jet, and living in their gated communities and their fancy mansions and whatever, with their live-in staff and whatnot. I don't know specifically if Perdue lives quite that high, but Kelly Loeffler is the richest person in the Senate, and Mitt Romney's close to a billionaire, so that's pretty up there. I mean, her husband owns the New York Stock Exchange. He's not just like the president, he owns it. So this is what they do, and in addition 20 million Americans' eviction protections are going to run out at the end of this month. And the McConnell bill and the Problem Makers bill doesn't solve that problem. They're also refusing any money at all for police, fire, hospitals, and other state and local governments. That's the McConnell proposal. There is money for state, fire, police, local governments, et cetera, some small amount of money in this proposed $900 billion bill that the Problem Solvers Caucus is trying to put together. But in McConnell's bill, he says no to SNAP benefits. We have 1 in 5 children in America is going to bed hungry. Just think about that for a minute. 1 in 5 children in America will go to bed hungry at least a couple days this month, some of them for weeks at a time. And what does Mitch McConnell say? We cannot extend or expand food stamp benefits because people lost their jobs because of COVID. Can't do it. Sorry. We got to preserve our tax cuts for billionaires. You may not have food stamps. I mean, this is nuts. They do, McConnell does throw a small bone to education and vaccine distribution, a total of about $200 billion between the two of them. But basically, they embedded a time bomb in there that's going to blow up in Joe Biden's face by making it illegal for the Treasury Department to continue to support the Fed in, supporting the big corporations on the New York Stock Exchange, which could mean that right after the first of the year, the stock market goes to hell. Now, I'm not making a prediction. Don't make investment advice or take, decisions based on anything I say. But this could be, and then using their, notorious BS talking point about we've got to stop fraud by working people. They completely ignore fraud from corporations and fat cats. The Republican senators want to make it harder to file for unemployment benefits in every state, which will further cripple Joe Biden's ability to stimulate the economy, because the best way to stimulate the economy is not to give $1.5 trillion of tax cuts to big corporations, or $6 trillion of purchasing bonds and stocks, as the Fed has done to big corporations. The best way to stimulate an economy is to inject money into the pockets of people at the bottom half of the economic ladder, because they will all, or virtually all, spend all of that money very, very quickly, which, boom, gets it into the economy, just like that. But, this is what Republicans do. I mean, they just, they only exist to serve their billionaire and corporate masters, and their billionaire and corporate masters return the favor by largely funding every Republican member of Congress and every Republican member of the House and Senate of every state in the country, or state assembly, or House of Burgesses, or whatever it may be. This is who they are. This is what they do. So anyhow, we need to be reaching out. Reach out to Congress at 202-224-3121. Speak to both your senators and your member of the House of Representatives, or reach out by email. You can reach out by social media. Send them a letter. Tell them to put the tens of millions of unemployed and hungry people in America ahead of the 3 martini lunches and the liability limits for meatpacking plants and giant corporations, warehouse operations and things where people have been forced to work under conditions that have caused them to get sick, and many have died. And those employers are now saying, hey, stop my employees from suing me. I just killed a few of them. Yeah, time to end that.